And then Hillary Clinton tried to punch him in the taxes. She said, this man doesn't pay his taxes. He shot right back. That makes me smart.
When he had to turn them over to state authorities when he was trying to get a casino license, and they showed he didn't pay any federal income tax.
Did you hear that massive boom? That was Dave Chappelle dropping a comedy nuke on Trump. The legendary funny man just stepped onto the SNL stage and unleashed a barrage of jokes that had Trump supporters squirming in their seats. But here's the kicker.
If you want me to pay my taxes, then change the tax code. But I know you won't, because your friends and your donors enjoy the same tax breaks that I do.
Chappelle didn't just go for cheap laughs. He juggled flaming chainsaws of humor, tackling everything from Trump's wacky debate claims to the California wildfires. Buckle up, folks, and because this monologue is wilder than Trump's hair in a hurricane. This has always blown my mind a little bit. 91% that watch this show regularly haven't subscribed. Could I ask you for a small favor before we start? If you like this show, what we do here, and want to support us, the free simple way you can do just that is by hitting the subscribe button. Well, folks, it looks like our comedy hero Dave Chappelle almost pulled a Houdini on us when it came to hosting Saturday Night Live. Can you believe it? The man who's made us laugh till our sides hurt was this close to saying, nah, I'm good, to one of the biggest gigs in comedy. So picture this, Dave sitting at home, probably in his comfy pants, when the phone rings. It's Lorne Michaels, the big cheese over at SNL. Now, Lauren's not calling to chat about the weather. Nope, he's on a mission to get Dave on that stage. But Dave, he's feeling about as comfortable with the idea as Trump is with a salad. You see, the political climate was hotter than a jalapeno in a heat wave. Trump was tweeting faster than a caffeinated squirrel, and Dave was thinking, do I really want to jump into this circus? It's like he was standing at the edge of a pool filled with political piranhas, trying to decide if he should dive in or just go home and watch Netflix. But Lorne Michaels, that guy is more persistent than a telemarketer on commission.
My friends, the star was born.
I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes when she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted.
Kept calling Dave, probably thinking he'd found his comedy messiah to save us all from the madness. Meanwhile, Dave's running out of excuses faster than Trump runs out of spray tan. You can almost hear him on the phone. Sorry, Lauren, I can't make it. My dog ate my jokes. My car turned into a pumpkin. I'm allergic to live TV. Now, let's talk about what was really going on in Dave's head. He was worried about poking the orange bear, and honestly, can you blame him? Taking on Trump in comedy is like trying to nail jelly to a wall. It's messy, and you're not sure if it's worth the effort. Plus, with Trump tweeting about everything from Cuffef to hamburgers, how do you even keep up? But here's where it gets interesting. Despite all his hesitation, despite feeling like he was about to step into a political tornado armed with nothing but a microphone, Dave decided to take the plunge. And not just that, he decided to bring fresh Trump jokes to the table. None of that reheated comedy leftovers for our man Dave. Oh no, he was gonna serve up some jokes so fresh they'd make Trump's spray tan look old and crusty. It's like Dave looked at the political landscape, saw it was crazier than a squirrel on Red Bull, and thought, you know what, I'm gonna dive into this mess and see what happens. Talk about comedic bravery. It's like he decided to walk into a lion's den wearing a suit made of steak. Just when Dave thought he was ready to roast Trump like a Thanksgiving turkey, California decided to throw a flaming curveball his way. How's a comedian supposed to crack jokes when half the state's on fire and Trump's tweeting like it's just another Tuesday? Talk about a hot mess. Poor Dave's got himself in quite the pickle. He's all set to give Trump the comedic spanking of a lifetime, but Mother Nature crashes the party with some of the worst wildfires in US history. It's like trying to juggle flaming chainsaws while riding a unicycle on a tightrope over a pit of angry Twitter trolls. So there's Dave scratching his head thinking, how the heck do I make people laugh about Trump when California's turning into the world's biggest barbecue? It's not like he can just ignore the fires. That'd be like pretending your pants aren't on fire while trying to deliver a speech about fire safety. Talk about awkward. And let's not forget about our dear old friend, Donald. I know more about fires than the firefighters, Trump. While California's burning faster than Dave's career after he quit his show, Trump's busy tweeting like he's got a PhD in firefighting from Trump University. His response to the wildfires was about as helpful as a chocolate teapot in a heat wave. It's like he looked at the disaster and thought, you know what this situation needs? More hot air. Dave's sitting there, comedy notebook in hand, trying to figure out how to roast Trump without getting burned himself. It's like he's got to make a comedy omelet with disaster eggs, and Trump's tweets are the eggshells he's gotta avoid. One wrong move and he'll end up with a mouthful of crunchy regret and a side of Twitter backlash. But our boy Dave isn't just any comedian. He's the Dave Chappelle. He's faced tougher crowds than this. Remember when he walked away from $50 million? That takes guts. And now he's got to use those guts to find a way to make people laugh while also acknowledging that, hey, half of California is doing its best impression of a matchstick. It's like Dave's trying to thread a needle while wearing oven mitts. On one hand, he's got to keep the laughs coming. On the other, he can't ignore the fact that this wildfire is the most expensive natural disaster in US history. It's affecting both the rich folks in their fancy mansions and the regular Joes just trying to keep their double wide from turning into a mobile barbecue pit. So what's a comedy genius to do? Well, in true Chappelle style, he decides to tackle the issue head on. He's gonna use humor to highlight the real problem, the lack of empathy in this whole mess. It's like he's serving up a comedy casserole with a side of hard truth. In his monologue, Dave pulls off a move smoother than Trump's comb over in a hurricane. He drops this little gem. That's why I hate poor people. Now, before you start sharpening your pitchforks, hear me out. Dave's not actually hating on poor folks. He's using that zinger to make people sit up and think about how we judge each other during disasters. It's like Dave's holding up a mirror to society and saying, hey, look at yourselves. You're busy judging who deserves sympathy based on their zip code while the whole state's turning into a fireplace. He's making people laugh, sure, but he's also making them squirm a little. It's like he's tickling them with one hand and slapping them with the other. And that, folks, is the Chappelle magic. He's not just cracking jokes, he's cracking open people's minds. He's using laughter as a crowbar to pry open the rusty doors of empathy. It's like he's saying, yeah, Trump's a comedy goldmine, but let's not forget there are real people suffering here. Alright folks, it's time to strap in for the main event. Dave Chappelle's about to serve up some Trump roast, and let me tell you, it's hotter than a MAGA hat left on a car dashboard in July. Now you might think you've heard every Trump joke under the sun, but Chappelle's about to prove you wrong. He starts off with his Trump impression, and holy moly, it's like the man crawled inside Trump's brain and set up shop. The audience is in stitches, laughing so hard you'd think they were at a tickle convention. But here's where it gets interesting. Chappelle's not just going for cheap laughs. No sir, he's playing comedy chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He's got his eye on the bigger picture, and he's about to make some moves that'll leave your head spinning. Remember that wild claim Trump made during the debate about Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, eating people's dogs and cats? Yeah, that happened. Chappelle pounces on it like a cat on a laser pointer. He points out how bonkers it is to spread that kind of nonsense about hardworking immigrants who are just trying to make a better life for themselves. It's like accusing your neighbor of being a vampire because they work night shifts. The audience reaction? More mixed than Trump's business success. Some folks are howling with laughter while others are squirming in their seats like they've got ants in their pants. But that's exactly what Chappelle wants. He's not here to make everyone comfortable. He's here to make you think while you're busy laughing your socks off. And boy, does he deliver. Chappelle's got this way of tackling serious issues with humor that's sharper than a politician's suit on debate night. He's not just cracking jokes, he's cracking open people's minds. It's like he's saying, hey, I know this is funny, but let's not forget there's some real messed up stuff going on here. But wait, there's more. Just when you think Chappelle's done roasting Trump like a marshmallow at a campfire, he pulls out the big guns. He drops a joke so spicy it makes Trump's Taco Bowl tweets look like bland oatmeal. The whole room explodes in laughter. It's like someone set off a laughter bomb and Chappelle's holding the detonator. And here's the kicker, Chappelle's not just going for laughs, he's on a mission. He's using humor like a Trojan horse, sneaking in some hard truths while everyone's busy wiping tears of laughter from their eyes. It's like he's serving up a delicious comedy sandwich, but he's snuck some vegetables in there too. Before you know it, you've swallowed some food for thought along with your belly laughs. Just when you thought Chappelle was done serving up laughs, he pulls a Jimmy Carter out of his comedy hat. Talk about a plot twist. Our boy Dave suddenly gets all serious, like he's auditioning for a TED Talk or something. The audience is scratching their heads, wondering if they accidentally stumbled into a leadership seminar. But here's the kicker. Chappelle starts talking about empathy and leadership. Yeah, you heard that right. The guy who was just roasting Trump like a marshmallow on a campfire is now getting all deep and philosophical. It's like he's trying to make us think or something. The nerve of this guy. So there's Dave standing on stage and he starts sharing this personal story, and let me tell you, it hits harder than any of his Trump jokes. The audience is so quiet you could hear a MAGA hat drop. It's like they're all holding their breath, waiting to see where this roller coaster is going next. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Chappelle's talking about empathy and leaders, and we all know that's not exactly Trump's strong suit. But get this, he doesn't even mention Trump by name. It's like he's playing 4D chess with our brains, making us connect the dots without spelling it out. And then, boom, Chappelle drops this truth bomb about leadership that leaves everyone stunned. He starts talking about Jimmy Carter, of all people. Yeah, that Jimmy Carter, the one who's been building houses and fighting diseases long after he left the White House. Chappelle's like, I don't know if that's a good president, but I'm sure that's a great man. Talk about a mic drop moment. It's like Chappelle's holding up a mirror to our current political circus and saying, hey, remember when leaders actually cared about people? The audience is so quiet you could hear Trump's toupee rustling in the wind. But here's the real magic of what Chappelle's doing. He's not just dunking on Trump, even though, let's be honest, that's always fun. He's making us think about what we really want in a leader. Do we want someone who can fire off sick burns on Twitter, or someone who actually gives a damn about people? It's like Chappelle's taken us on this wild ride from belly laughs to deep thoughts, and we didn't even realize we were on the journey. One minute we're laughing at Trump jokes, the next we're contemplating the meaning of true leadership. Talk about emotional whiplash. And the way Chappelle does it is so smooth. He's not preaching at us or wagging his finger. He's just laying out the facts and letting us draw our own conclusions. It's like he's saying, here's what a leader with empathy looks like. Now compare that to what we've got. The genius of it all is how Chappelle manages to critique Trump without even saying his name. It's like he's playing a game of political taboo and winning. He's painting this picture of what real leadership looks like, and Trump ain't it. By bringing up Jimmy Carter, Chappelle's reminding us that there's more to being a leader than just sitting in the Oval Office. It's about what you do when you're not in power. It's about how you treat people when the cameras aren't rolling. Well, folks, it looks like Dave Chappelle didn't just crack a few jokes on SNL. He dropped a comedy nuke on Trump and the whole political scene. Talk about a roller coaster of laughs and truth bombs. But here's the kicker. While we were busy giggling, Chappelle was sneaking in some serious food for thought. Who knew laughter could be a secret weapon for political awareness? Studies are showing that all this chuckling might actually be changing our political views. So next time you're watching Chappelle roast the Orange Menace, remember you're not just having a good time, you're becoming a more engaged citizen. Who says you can't fight the power with a belly laugh? Looks like Chappelle's serving up a spicy mix of giggles and hard truths, and we're all coming back for seconds. Maybe we should rename SNL to Saturday Night Political Enlightenment. Nah, doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?